Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-bum. But welcome back, my friends, to the Bjjbrick Quick Podcast. This is your quick Jiu-Jitsu podcast. Slap hands, bump fists, let's roll. My name is Byron. Today I'm talking about how I roll with white belts. And that's just a very generic statement. I roll with more people than belts. Like, I don't treat all white belts the same. But generally speaking, I train at a gym that's big enough, and I train at one of the less peak times. I train at 11 a.m. mostly. I go to the 6 p.m. class. There's 40 people in there, and a good 15 or so of them I don't really know that well. Most of those are white belts that I don't know. How do I roll with somebody I don't know and they're fairly new? I think that's a valid thing. If you're new to the podcast, I'm a black belt, and I do enjoy rolling with white belts. I enjoy rolling people of all levels. Some general rules I have are the one that comes to my mind first. I don't like them to grab my head in a dominant position and just squeeze the life out of my head. I guess that would be my brain area. So if my role with my white belt friends or future friends or people I don't know is going to be pretty lighthearted. It's going to be a little exploratory for me. I want to see what they work on. I would say that these people, this group of friends that I hope to make, or the people I don't really know, I tap out less than any other group. Probably a black belt. I don't tap out a lot of black belts. It's difficult, but I don't tap out a lot of white belts either. I enjoy a little bit of back and forth, give and take. I'm not telling you how to roll with people. This is just how I prefer to roll with white belts that I've yet to really get to know. Generally, I'll ask how they're doing, if they're working on anything in particular. A lot of white belts don't have anything they're working on. They're trying to survive, or I saw an armbar online, or they're like, okay, whatever, well, you're going to be fine. And I tend to talk a little bit. If you can compliment a technique or two while they're doing it, that's cool. If they're attempting a submission, I'll fight out of it. If they had a particular thing they did wrong in that submission, I fight out of it, get cleared of it. And then if I feel like it, I'll say, hey, let's rewind that and work it again. This time, hold my hand or hold my gi this way. See how that works out. And then maybe it works out better for them. Maybe I still take it apart. Maybe whatever. I'll just get them a little bit the shot at it again. I want them to feel like they're not in a fight, that they're in a training session with somebody who cares about their development. I guess that's the easy way to say it. What I started to say that I never got around to, somebody distracted me, I guess my own self, my lack of notes, is I will give up a lot of positions to all of my training partners. But with the white belts, I'll let them have side control or mount or whatever. But I will not let them get me like in a headlock style of position. And that's just part of being, for lack of a better way to describe it, good enough to not be in that position. So, and that it's true desire to not want to be there. It's far worse for me to be stuck in a crappy choke or having somebody squeeze my head, and the way out of it is for me to just pry my head out underneath the pressure. I don't like that. I won't let them put me in a position where they might injure me. I'm not talking about a submission. I'm talking about just an injury, like a dangerous thing. So the example I have is like headlock. I don't let white belts aren't going to headlock me. I let them do a lot of stuff, or attempt, or positional wise, but I don't just hand out free headlocks, because it's just not fun for me. Maybe you enjoy getting stuck in a headlock. But having somebody who's 240 pounds, doesn't know what they're doing, wrenching on my head and neck, no thanks. We'll work on something else. And as far as you just avoid that. But I'm kind of getting a little bit off of where I hope to take this as far as how to roll with somebody that you don't really know or that's new. Get them out of the fight mode. Get them into the learning mode while sparring, while training. Let them know that you have their interests at heart as well. Give them a good... Don't hand them submissions. Nobody wants that. But get them a good exchange. Have some positional exchanges. If I wanted to hold most white belts in a bad position for the entirety of the round, I gotta think I could do that. I haven't done that in a long time. But that's not good for either one of us. If I could get, guess what? If I can get a black belt in bottom side control and pin him there for 5 minutes straight, I'm doing that. I can't. Super hard. Maybe I get a good minute out of that instead of 5. But there's no reason to do it to somebody who can't properly escape it anyway. Don't be a bully. Anyway, that's a little bit of how I roll with white belts and I guess black belts. But have good rolls, guys. Make sure you both have good rolls. And I can still work on my techniques. So we talked about plateaus a while back. You know, maybe my Kimura game, I maybe I set those up on some white belts before I tip up a scale or two, a level or two. Get something out of it yourself, but don't own the role. Don't make them feel worthless for showing up. Guys, what am I missing this episode? What'd you think? I appreciate you hearing your comments. If you have a topic for me to cover, send it in. Bjjbrick@gmail.com is my email address. Until next time, roll for both of you guys. And stay sweaty, my friends.